Good morning, it is Nicole, the North Island Stitcher. It has been a while since I've done a video, and reasons for that is I broke my ankle the Friday after I did my last video, and I then had a death in the family on the following Saturday, so we've had a pretty tough few weeks. I then came down about 11 days ago with a cold flu, tested 9 days straight in a row, and it was a negative test result every single time. So it was just a horrible cold flu that's going around, and if you can tell, my voice is still not 100%, but I'm feeling so much better from yesterday onwards. Right up until then I just felt really terrible, and yeah, let's just hope it continues to go away. So first of all, I want to thank everybody that's come back to watch. I want to thank everybody that has joined and subscribed. I want to thank everybody that's been with me right from the start. I appreciate it to the nth degree. It's nice to be recognised and given credit where credit's due, and it's awesome to see other Flosstubers. It's awesome to meet other Flosstubers. I've met a few now, and yeah, I guess we just get on with the video now. So I haven't done as much stitching in the last, since my last video, due to being, breaking my ankle, having a death in family and being sick. I haven't done very much on any of my full coverages because I just didn't have the brain capacity to do so with being unwell and having a lot to deal with. So I did a few smalls. I do have some finishes, one of which I cannot show because it's part of an ornament swap, and I'm not sure if she watches my videos, but we don't want to ruin the surprise. So I guess what we'll start off with is Angel from Tilton Crafts. If you recall, I had started that in my last video. This is what she will look like when she's finished. She's absolutely gorgeous, and in my last video I was up to here with her. So we'll just I haven't got as, like I said, I didn't get as much done as I'd like to, the bag that I've got her in. And I did actually spend some time in making some labels to put onto the zips, so I actually know what's in the bags. That's always handy. And this is in the end where I have got up to her. Lots of black and 939. But it's a good chunk that is completed. I'm very happy with the progress, considering I was sick and unwell. Also, a pre-warning, if you see the curtain moving over in the corner here behind my Christmas decorations, I've started doing my window display. That would be my white fluffy cat who has felt the need to go sit in the windowsill. So if you see the curtain moving, it's just him moving. Okay, the next one that I worked on, and this is right before I broke my ankle, I did work a bit on Once Upon a FairyTale. Now I can't find the picture that I had of where I was beforehand. Oh, I've got the threads wrapped up in the fabric, so we'll just need to separate all of those. Lots of really gorgeous colours. I know I don't seem to get them mixed up or tangled up. I've never had that problem. So where I worked on, because I had all this rest done. Oh, here he goes, moving. Is I had all of this part all stitched, and since my last video I decided to go all the way down to the bottom and go across the bottom, the way down to the side, down the bottom and across the bottom, and then I'm just going to work my way up from there because I don't want to make any mistakes through the rest of it. So this is where I'm going through. This has been stitched on 25 count. I'm not sure how many stitches I'm doing, and I am doing it in 10 stitch because otherwise I just won't get any of my full coverages finished. And where it is at now with all that I have stitched is from the middle over to the edge down to the bottom, and this part here This part here that's coming down, all the blues. That is a peacock, and I've got a thing for peacocks. I like peacocks. So that is Once Upon a Fairy Tale from Aida. So we'll just pop all those threads away. And my peacock bag. I'll sort that out properly later. Okay, the next one I worked on was Beloved, another Aida chart. I didn't get a lot done because I think I'd worked a bit more on this one the day before I broke my ankle. And obviously then once you break your ankle, that's a bit more difficult to do that. So I didn't have much stitched on it beforehand. This was as far as I got, which is not a lot. And that's as far as I got. A little bit more. And it's just all 310. Again, this I am actually doing this one in 4 crosses. That's before I started doing tent stitch. So that might take me a while to do. The next one I worked on, and I felt that I was able to work on it better, was Tulip's one from Kustom Krafts. I don't think I have a picture of what it will look like in the end. I hope so. Let's have a look. Quick. Might have paid to go in the right direction. There it is. I did take a picture of it. And this is what it'll look like when it's finished. This is from Kustom Krafts. So, and I'm stitching this on 28 count, and I've just got to remove the chart. We don't need to show that. And we'll just pop the magnet out of the way. It's a bit hard to see it with a magnet on there. And where I was at before I started stitching some on it, I was up to this point. Sorry, my phone is just about flat, hence why it's plugged in. So it's got a bit of a tail at the moment. And this is where I am up to with it so far. And the stitching there, so I got a good amount done on that. And then I broke my ankle. So I stitched this on Friday at a stitchy meetup. That was at one of the local libraries that we go to. There's a stitchy meetup on a Friday from 10:30 till 12 o'clock at the Stokes Valley Hub. If anybody that's watching is local, she's a lovely lady who runs it, Annika. She's one of the librarians there, and she's started up a wee lovely little stitching group. Now the other 3 ones that I stitched was a Carolyn Manning Caroling Friends. I did stitch another one, like I said. I can't show that one because that's part of a stitchy ornament giveaway, and so I can show the other ones. This was a start and a finish, not on the same day. This one took me about 3 days to do. And this is called Caroling Friends from Carolyn Manning. So this is the colourway, not the exact threads that are charted for. I changed them around a bit, and then I mirror imaged it and changed some of the colours. And instead of stitching the music notes, I put a few music note charms on it. So I'm really happy with that. I'll probably do that as a flat fold finish. So I'm really happy with that one. The next one I got from the 2020 Halloween Now, I'm not huge into Halloween, never have been, but I really liked this one. This one's called Raven Moon. And this is on Autumn Hues 14 count Aida from Jodery. I actually got this piece of fabric from Cat Stitch on Flosstube, and perfect for it. So I really like that one. Elizabeth Spurlock, I think, was the designer. I think, I could be wrong. Then I did another little finish, and this was what they call a SAF. Started and finished it all in the one day. And that's just dashing through the snow. Same fabric I used on the Carolyn Friends. Just a little reindeer and a Christmas tree in the background. And I'll get these all finished up FFO'd so I can hang them up on my tree. I haven't got my tree up yet. So I'm really happy with that. And that's out of the 2020 Just Cross Stitch magazine. Ornament magazine. And along with Carolyn Friends, they're in the... No, they're not in the same magazine. But that's okay. They're in one of those. They're the ornament ones that Just Cross Stitch bring out every year. The other whip that I worked on was Haunted House. And I bought this off Etsy. And this is where I'm up to with it so far. Again, I'm not really into Halloween, but this one just yelled by me. So it kind of had to hop into the email account. Really happy with how that's coming along. Because they're just the smalls, and at the moment that's pretty much about all my head can handle at the moment, is just a few smalls. So I'm not, you know, with all that's going on. And when that's finished, that'll... Oh, where are we? That'll look like that when it's fully finished. So I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, people are buzzing. Okay, that's all of that side of it. I did make some purchases because Artisy are having a sale at the moment, so I did buy some charts from Artisy. I bought Orca one, which I've already mostly got kitted up, and I'll be stitching that on 25 count. I think I'm missing about a dozen colours, which is usually the case. That's a small one. I also bought Woodland Beauty. Absolutely love this fox design. And I saw somebody else had stitched this chart, and I just loved it the moment I saw it, and I knew Artisy were coming up with a sale, so I thought, no, that's the first chart I'm going to buy. And it's a triptych, but this is the part that I saw finished, and I just thought, oh my god, that is just stunning. And I'm not sure who it was that finished it, and this is what the whole chart is. I'm not likely to have the gaps in between. I'll probably do it as one whole piece, but I just think it's just gorgeous. And the last Artisy chart I bought, and I'm likely to buy, there's another couple that I want to get. There's a dragon one I want to get and a polar bear one I want to get, but I bought this one only last night. And it's reef painting with lots of fishies, and sorry about the glare, that's better, I'll go that side. So they're all from Artisy, which I'm really happy about with all of those. So I guess now, apart from that, we'll get on to other haul. Now in here I've just got a piece of 20 count Aida, which I'm going to be dyeing up. It's just white at the moment. I'm going to do some hand dyeing on that with some browns and some greens. Not dark, pale mottled browns and greens. And that's going to be for this series, which I'm sure many of you are fully aware of. And I have got the fox, the swans. Going to have to stash dye for some of these colours though and change them around a bit. The jackrabbit, the raccoon, the ferret, the bear, the bald eagle, wants to lie down on me, and the barn owl. I have also since my last video received from Art and Frame down in Christchurch. She's lovely to work with. Is the woodpecker. Now I can put these with my other ones now. The bat and the beaver. And I'm loving the reindeer. And we'll get that one this week. And I'll show that next one, although I'm pretty sure you've probably all seen them. So that's that one. I also purchased this one after seeing it on somebody's Flosstube. Oh, there we go. Just think it's absolutely cute. Really like that one, so really happy with those. Next I want to thank Zeb. She's a stitcher up in Auckland and she had a competition in our local stitching Facebook group, the New Zealand Cross Stitch, and she'd been working with beads and doing the peyote style beads, and she had a competition of put up your favourite finish of Halloween finish. Now at that point in time I only had one Halloween finish and I was lucky enough to, that one was the lucky one enough to win, and she sent me a beautiful peyote needle scissor fob, and I absolutely love it, and I've attached it to my dragon scissors, so I think that just works beautifully. And hopefully I have the a photo of the finish that I had, hopefully. No, I don't. Apologies for that. I'll pop it up as a photo at the start or the end like I do often. I'll have that popped up in there. I also want to acknowledge Creative Lee. She also had a giveaway for her 1000 giveaway, 1000 subscriber giveaway, and I was lucky enough to win the fabric that she was doing, and I chose Country Stitch Ashes, Lugana 32 count, and it's a gorgeous purpley grey, and it's pretty close, but it's got a little bit more purple in it, and it just looks stunning, and it's lovely to stitch on. It's the same colour that I stitched my Lizzie Kate on, but yeah, not opal though. This is not opal, but the one I did the Lizzie Kate was opal. That's pretty close to the colourway. That's really cool. I think it's a gorgeous colourway. I have no idea what I'm going to stitch on it yet, but I'm sure something will pop out. So now that I can put them away because I've shown them. I had some stitchy kindness from Judith, an Aussie in a Kiwi world. She hosted the Thames stitching retreat a few weeks back, and she grabbed a couple of things that she thought I might like, and I love lavender and lace designs, and I think this is really cool. So I thank her for that. Thank you, Judy. Just pop all the other bits and pieces down here. Now I did also have an order in with Country Stitch, and I ordered this one, Hana, DT of the Morning, Bella Chart, and I also ordered Tala, DT of the Stars. Now I already have Mayari, and I actually plan on stitching them all on one fabric, where we have Hana on one side, Tala in the middle, and Mayari will be on this side. And I've ordered some 27 count Linda fabric. I bought 1.5 meters of it. I know I'm going to have some left over. I'm going to do some hand dyeing of it, and that's all going to be on one piece of fabric. So I haven't done anything quite like that before, and I'm looking forward to how that's going to turn out. I also did get some more things from Art and Frame. So I did order the Winds of Autumn 12 projects from Blackbird Designs. I'm not taking it out of the plastic, and my main reason for buying it was for this one here, but I did like more than half of the design, so I felt it was worth getting the whole book in the end. And I'm sure many of you have seen this on other Flosstubers. So I bought that, and I bought the fox. My cat's right by my feet. The fox Christmas stocking. Halloween Quaker I also bought. Come here. Up here. Pause. Oh. He's my boy. He's about 9 years old. Been very clingy lately because he knows I haven't been well. So the next thing I bought is I bought this off, I can't think of it. It's an online bookshop. I can't think of it for the life of me. But I bought these, the 20 ornament designs. I haven't stitched any out of it yet, but I do plan on doing so. I think they're just so cute. Book Depository. There we go. Bought it from Book Depository. And lots of really cool, neat Christmas designs. This isn't where my ornament swap is either. Yep, you're coming to stay, are you? The other thing I bought from Art and Frame was the tin, and that came with 10 linen threads. Did come with a chart, but I won't show that. I've always wondered what the linen threads were like. I have an idea of what chart I want to stitch with them. They do have a different feel about them, but there are some really, really pretty colours in there. So I'll have to pick something to put them into, and I have to thank Creative Lee for helping again with that, because she wanted a tin as well, and they ended up being shipped up together and she dropped it off to me, so I appreciate that. Thank you, Creative Lee, for that. The next one was a winter scene one that I bought off Etsy. and I have it all kitted up ready to go. That's this one. Unplug it. And I really love that. Just going to do that on some white opal fabric. I think that would look absolutely stunning in the areas there is no stitches. So I've got that all fully kitted up as well. I have ordered this one. I did not order it, I did buy it, but I need to get a piece of fabric big enough for it because it's like 779 by 450. It's absolutely massive and I love it. It's gorgeous. So I better plug that back in before it goes off on me. So that's that one to talk about. What's this one? Oh, that's because Orca, I've got to label that one. That's my Orca one, all kitted up, ready to go, just missing about half a dozen colours. And this is the other chart, sorry, all the beads. This one's already fully kitted. I did have another piece of fabric with it, but then when Hanan came out and Tala, they just felt they had to go together, so I've put that other fabric back away that I had picked out for it, and this will go in together, and now I can put them all together. I just need to get the kits sorted for the other two. Got to make a better bag for it, but all in good time. Now the last one is Happy Mood Point, my Happy Mood Point cell. Now, because I can't do that big peacock one in this colourway that I wanted to do it in, because I haven't got the fabric for it, I am going to pinch the colourway from Judy, from a Kiwi, an Aussie in a Kiwi world. We do the ombre effect with my Happy Mood Point sale. That's starting on the 16th of November, so literally in 2 days' time. So I'm going to be using 3865, which we all know these colours. Oops, 3849, 747, 3847, and 3766. Put them in the right order. I tend to use floss drops. I don't like bobbinating. So these are the colours that I'm going to do an ombre effect with my Happy Mood Point that I've chosen. So I've got lots of threads, probably too many. Never can have enough though. And I'm going to stitch that on another piece of fabric from Country Stitch, one of our local fabric dyers. And this is Haystack from Lugana, but it's got a green tinge to it. Yep, that would be close to about right. It's a really lovely pale, and I love using even weave. Not the biggest fan of linen, but that's okay. So that's pretty close to it. And that's what I'm going to stitch my Happy Mood Point. And this is the design that I had chosen, and it's a needle minder I got from Silks For You. So that's a start for the 16th. That's my anniversary's new start. And popped it inside my Harry Potter bag. Nicely labelled, ready to go. Label. I'll just pop that all back in. Oh, got a drink down there. We don't want a skein falling into the drink. So that's all of that. And my biggest haul that I would have to say, and it took a couple of weeks to get here. Actually it didn't, it took about 9 days to get here, and I got it a couple of days before I went to the first Stitchy get together at the library at the Stokes Valley Hub, and I took the stand with me and I absolutely love it. It was great. Then I broke my ankle in the afternoon, so that was no fun. So I haven't been able to go to many Stitchy get-togethers since. And this is the Gus tabletop stand. It's very similar to my floor stand, except basically on a smaller scale. And I had, yeah, I'm really happy with that. Absolutely well worth it. It's made beautifully. It's got his logo here, little wren bird. Love the knobs, the shape of them. They're easy to use. He's also got logo on the top again. So it's just Gus Custom Crafts Creations, Gus Custom Creations, sorry. He is on Facebook. Communication is brilliant, customer service is awesome. I really can't say anything bad because there isn't anything bad to say. But yeah, worth the pennies, worth the saving up to get it. So that's that one. A Christmas quilt behind me. It's getting to that time of the year. So the only other thing I want to show, but I can't show all of, is we've got an ornament swap over here, and I'm grateful that I was able to join it, and I've stitched my ornament. I just have to do a fully finish on it, which I will probably do tomorrow or Wednesday. And I've got lovely box of goodies here. Can't show what's in there, and my lady is local, so I'm looking forward to arranging to go take this to her, and we'll go from there. So that's that. I will take a photo of the ornament before I take it over to her, but I won't show it yet. I will take a photo of it and show it in my next Flosstube. And so yeah, there's a few shout outs I want to do. There's Nara's Crafts. I don't think she's got a new video up yet, but she's also had a few issues that she's had to deal with. 911 Stitcher. You slicky butt on the table. You slicky butt on the table. Spreading out. Yes, the 991 Stitcher. She's so informative and she's so giving. She's just really lovely to watch. Pam and Steph. Now if you want a good laugh, go watch Pam and Steph. They are just hilarious. And Deborah and the Serial Starter. Now I used to get hung up about how many whips I have, that I had to get finishes, but after watching Pam and Steph, it's like, you know what? I'm going to stitch what I want when I want. And if that means a new start, then that means a new start. And I'm okay with that, because it's about going to a place of being happy. And with how my last few weeks have been, going to a place where I'm happy is a good thing to do. There's of course Dizzy Stitcher, and he's the major enabler. He tries to say he's not, but he is. The other one is Wombat Hollow Crafts. She's in Sydney, I think, in Australia. And she has some really awesome whips and lots of lovely projects in her videos and what she's working on. And she's a quilter as well. I'm a quilter. I do quilt, but not as much as I used to. And this morning before I started doing my video, I was watching Teresa Little Stitch's live video. Now she is just so down to earth, and she's so lovely and welcoming, and I've been watching her right from the start. Well, when I first found Flosstube, I found her and I literally went right to the start and binge watched to catch up. So I really love her videos. Obviously there's Creative Lee and There's an Aussie and a Kiwi World, Judith up at Thames. And Fiction and Floss, she's a local stitcher as well. She has lots of videos, but she does have it time-stamped because her first part is all about reading and books and what have you. And if you're not interested in that, then you can jump to the stitching. And yeah, so that's, I really like the fact that she's got time-stamped. That's awesome. And the other one is Chasing Alex. She's up near Hamilton. And I watched her latest video yesterday. Now she's been doing it for about 6 weeks now. She started doing it after the Thames retreat. And she's been putting out regular videos every week, a lot more often than me. But that's okay. So yeah, Chasing Alex. And she's cool as well. She's got some awesome whips. She's got some lovely finishes, and she goes into a lot of detail. Very informative. So yeah, they're the ones that I've been watching. Been doing a lot of watching Flosstube. You know, there's not much I can do when you're stuck up their foot in a moon boot. Yeah, where the break was, they couldn't plaster it, so I've had to be wearing a moon boot, which is not particularly that much fun. Thankfully I'm at the point now where I only have to wear it when I go out, but when I'm inside at home I don't have to wear it because it's flat inside and I'm not going along uneven surfaces. Outside it's not quite so flat. So that's where we are at now. Again, I want to thank all my subscribers for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed what I've had to show. Happy stitching. Keep warm if you're in a cold place. Keep cool if you're in a hot place. And keep stitching. Thank you. Bye.